Hello, my name is Anna, and I'm here today to present my interior architecture project called La Museta. So my classmate before presented a brief about a new development port in Marbella called La Bajadia. So this port is a new future for Marbella's old fishing port. And this new marina is a great initiative and a correct decision to create a fresh new landmark for Marbella. One thing that affects this in the future, this new development, is climate change. And when I'm talking about climate change, I'm referring back to sea level rise. By the end of the century, global mean sea level is likely to rise at least 0.3 meters above the now sea level. And this will happen even though greenhouse gas emissions follow a relatively low pathway in the coming decades. And 0.3 meters may not sound a lot, but for the coast of Spain and throughout the whole world, it will create major damage. And sea level rise is affected by CO2 emissions, higher the temperature in the atmosphere, melting glaciers, and also water expands when it's warmer. So the average temperature now, 2020, is 28 degrees. In 2070, it will be 33 degrees, and in 2100, which is my goal and focus year of my project, it will be 33 degrees Celsius. My location I chose on this plot, I chose carefully thinking about climate change and sea level rise. I chose a plot that is 10 by 30 meters and is located on the end of one of the port's arms. So the purpose of this building that I'm creating is an art gallery. And I choose art gallery because art has always been something in human existence. It's always been within human existence. So think about cave drawings, for example. And the art in 2100, it will be something completely new. It will be that we will walk into the art. It will be a completely new connectivity between the artist and the viewer. But the future is uncertain, so we have to prepare for many different futures. One thing is certain, though, that art has always and will always be about creativity, connection, and communication. The more social we are online, the more we will crave human offline interaction and storytelling that art delivers. Therefore, I believe art and gallery exhibition space will be a part of this future. Also preserving the history. So the concept is symbiosis, and I chose this because I wanted my concept to connect with the sea level rise and that we're actually located by the coast. So I chose coral as my concept. And I chose this also because coral reefs are very, very dependent on climate change. They will not survive if the water gets warmer and pH level changes. So the coral symbiosis with an algae called Zooxanthellae, which is they're working together by the coral providing a place for the algae to attach, and the algae provides food for the coral. And for those of you who don't know what symbiosis is, it's the living together in more or less intimate association or close union of two dissimilar organisms or objects. So for my development, I started out with this 10 by 30 plot located on the ground. But because of sea level rise, we have to elevate this, creating, you see here, if the sea level rise, this building will be resilient against that end result. I'm also creating an outdoor area which promotes airflow into the building and opens up for the viewers to look outside as well. Further on into development, I'm also opening up the middle part of the building, which will be where you transition from ground floor to first floor, just to create a more open, airy environment. This is where my symbiosis really shows. Because of the hot temperatures in the future, we don't want to be exposed by the sun. So I created this shell that will surround this linear structure inside. So here you see the symbiosis between an organic shell together with a linear, I would call it a linear pearl, which is basically contradicting, but yeah. This shell will also host this algae that is inside this hollow space, which will have the ability to clean water and creates a live wall, or a live water filtration wall. And then looking into the different scenarios, we have 2020, the sea level will be below, you will still have the port and you will enter underneath. But in 2100, sea levels are rising and you won't be able to utilize this bay space because it will be submerged, and you will enter through an additional dock instead. So going into my building, I have created, coming from the port, you will see this curved structure around my building that is almost like carved out steps down, created with seating and playful ponds that reflects the surrounding. The thing is, you will actually walk past the building first to see the building in its surrounding elements, and then walk into the main entrance. You walk around and you will have a playful setting, you will have public bathrooms, playground, and then you will walk up the stairs or taking the elevator up to first level. So when you're entering first level, you walk up the stairs and you will find yourself in this organic curved room, open ceiling, and a lot of seating as well. From this, you will exit and going into this very linear, squared room. You have two exits that you can go out from, entering the terrace area that will actually go all around this inner space with different kind of seatings, and you can enjoy the view down to the plaza, the shell, and you will see later out in a panoramic view of the ocean. So in this image here, you can really see the difference of going up the stairs, finding yourself in this linear squared room, and then going out. Here you are on the side of this terrace. You enter a whole different space with the shell around you. This shows also going from this open high ceiling into this squared room with lower ceiling height, creates different perception of space as you walk through the whole building. This is where I've cut the shell, but you can see the inside structure together with this very organic shape and its symbiosis or symbiotic relationship. Here you also see better. You're entering up high ceiling, you exit into this low ceiling height, tight area, and then you can walk out to this open space terrace with a shell. You can see down to the plaza and enjoy the view. The same here. Now we have a curved element connecting ground floor to the first floor, taking you all around the building to the other side, continuing, connecting the whole space like a golden thread. So when designing for the future, we have to think about materials. We have to benefit Earth. So what I'm using is I'm using nanotechnology concrete that cleans the air from pollutants. I'm using algae that cleans water when water runs through the algae, and it creates this living water filtration system. And I'm taking in consideration that Earth doesn't really need us. We need Earth, so we have to design for this. Materials inside will be a combination of walnut wood, bioconcrete, galaxy marble, white marble, to create this beautiful symbiotic contrast. And VPC, which is wood plastic composite for outdoor furniture, and then tile slabs of recycled pearlescent polycarbonate to cover my shells, or to cover the shell. So when you enter here, you walk past the building and you will enter down to this ramp. You see the carved out seating and step downs, public bathrooms. It's accessible for everyone. The future will be accessible for everyone, and I want to implement this into my building. Seating for relaxation. We have a fun ceiling design that creates an alive building and a view 360 degrees around. Coming down to the other side of the plaza, where you see a panoramic view. You're underneath this shell, and here you can really see the combination of the organic shell and the linear inside structure. Before you enter the building, you go through this digital screen reception, and you will enter up into this open up area, which is more of a welcoming room. Here you can wait for people. Art will follow you up the stairs as they're mounted on the wall, and you can experience the art from here. Huge contrast now with the light materials and the open ceiling into my exhibition area, which is a complete new space. So this is low ceiling. You will have dark materials around you, changing the whole perception of space and where you are. You have digital walls surrounding the whole place. As you walk further in, you can see we have different kind of projection art, so you really walk into the art here. It's a future experiment. It's a future experience. When you walk out of this hectic area, you walk into one of the terrace spaces with a panoramic view. Here you see this beautiful shell surrounding you with relaxing poofs and decoration where you can relax and enjoy the art and the shell and what nature provides. Walking further in, you can see the relationship between the organic shell and the linear structure with almost this invisible connection, focusing more on the symbiotic relationship. When you walk further around the terrace, you will have digital walls providing information, art pieces. The other area on the other side have a low sofa seating for more enjoying the view, connecting you to the plaza downstairs and the building itself. So for year 2100, when the water level is up, we will have this additional dock that you will enter with a boat, dock here, and then walk into the building through the terrace instead. So in the future, it's all about virtual tours and all of that. Think about now, Corona pandemic, we have to understand how we can make a building work even though it's a certain situation. So I created a virtual tour where you can look around, go walk through the building, like a 3D visual. You can always buy art online as well, and just enjoying this building from far away as well. Before I'm showing you this a little piece of the virtual tour, I just want to say a few words about my experience with this project. So I've maintained a strict timeline throughout the project, which could have had room for more errors, but I managed to work around it with the help of a disciplined mindset, motivation, and the help and the support of my lovely teachers, friends, and families. The outcome reflects my effort for achievement and my passion for design strategies and climate change. And there will always be room for improvement, and one will never be done completely with a project, but there's a time when you have to stop and say, okay, this is it, I'm proud, and I would proudly say that I would show my project to large global audience without hesitation. Let's play the video.
The Holocene has ended. What we do now and in the next few years will profoundly affect the next few thousand years. The only conditions modern humans have ever known so far are changing, and changing fast.